are 18 lists that you need in order to keep your life super organized. The first is a daily to-do list. So I like to use this, and it has my little daily to-dos on it. This is really important for like what the agenda is for the day. It's really nice to write it down the week before. And then the next is your weekly to-do. So I love to-do lists. So I have like this kind. This one has a little stain on it, but that's fine. Then I also have this like weekly to-do list. So you can see like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the weekend. So those are the first two lists. Then we have our goals list. Okay, so this is what you want to accomplish over the long term. So you can use a lot of digital apps. I'll leave some in the comments, or I'll tell you what they are if you want to know what they are. So having like a goals list is really important. These are kind of like life goals, long-term goals. If you've done a life audit, then you have goals. The other is a fitness program. Okay, so like, what do you want to accomplish? Are you tracking your workouts? For me, I have like Monday, Wednesday, Friday workouts. I already have those in my calendar. That's kind of how I track my workouts. I don't really track like my gains or anything like that. I basically just track like, am I working out? Do I feel better? Do I feel like I'm getting stronger? That's it. Next up, we have a shopping list. So basically the shopping list is like, what's run out? What do I need to buy? Just kind of like a running list of all the things that you need. I just put it on my phone. It's typically the easiest way to get things done. And then when I'm at the grocery store, I check those off. Or if I'm in a shopping center or something like that, then I have my list here, and anything that's not on the list, I'm not gonna buy, okay? Saves me time, saves me money. Next up, you need a meal planning list. So what are the things that you want to eat? Once you have a meal planning list, that can be put on your grocery list, right? So you really need this because it's about nourishing your body, making sure that you have the right calories, making sure that you have the right mix of foods. You have your greens, your proteins, your grains, all that other kind of stuff. And having a plan definitely saves you time, saves you a lot of effort during the day. Instead of being like, oh, what am I gonna eat? Like, you know exactly what you're gonna eat. I am personally pretty lame. Like, I eat two things like clockwork during the day. I have hash browns, eggs, avocado in the morning with some hot sauce. And then in the evening, or in the afternoon, I have dumplings, okay? I have like steamed dumplings, those like Chinese kind. Then in the evening, it's like kind of whatever it is for dinner. So I eat the same two things every day and then only mix it up in the evening. But that saves me so much time. I never have to wonder, what am I gonna eat, right? I already know what I'm gonna eat. The next thing is a budget list. So I use every dollar. If you're not in America, just use like a spreadsheet or like any other, like you need a budget or any other thing that is online. Understanding your income and your expenses, allocating money to, you know, certain areas of your life is really important. Typically what I do though is when I have a separate account for my income from my job, and then I have a separate account for, you know, all the other extra work that I do. And all the extra work that I do, I save half of it, between 50 and 75% of it. And then whatever is left over is what my spending money is. And then my income pays my bills, like mortgage, light payment, blah, 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 all that other kind of stuff. And then my extra income, I make sure that I save almost all of it, and then I spend the rest. And it's nice because I can spend it guilt-free. So depending on where you are in your life, you may or may not need like a hardcore budget, but you should have some kind of parameters around where you spend your money. So that kind of like goes into the spending list. You should know what you're spending your money on. So of course you need to know what you're spending, how much is going to your mortgage, how much is going to your rent, how much is going to your light bill, how much is going to your car, that kind of thing. And then kind of back to the what to buy list, you need a running grocery list. So like I said before, you should have like a list of when things run out, then you add that. So before it's like, oh, toilet paper's run out, or oh, I need new socks or whatever. But the grocery list is like, oh, I just ran out of butter. Let's add this to the grocery list. Because typically you don't buy your food in the same place that you buy like your socks. I mean, unless you shop at Walmart, which is totally fine. But typically that's not how it works. Or like your hair care products. Like I'm going to the beauty supply store for certain things, right? So, or makeup, right? So, so that's one thing. The next list is the emails to send list. Oh my gosh, communications is so important, especially if you're in marketing or you have clients or something like that. I typically allocate a specific day to send out emails. I personally use Notion and Sensama. I'll leave the links in the description or in the comments or whatever. And anytime I need to send an email, then I make sure that I put it on the list. Sunsama is actually really good for this because you can take your emails and then you can put them in your day and time block that. So that's super, super important. And then there's the events to attend list. A lot of times I'll see an event online and I really want to attend, but then sometimes you like forget, or like you can't find the social media platform that you found it on, or like the ad or whatever. So writing these things down and just quickly adding it to Notion is a list that will be really good. This is really important if you are networking and you're trying to, like, you know, grow your client base or just get out and meet new people. And events to attend list is very important. But also if you have like kids or something and they have like a school thing, or like your partner has some kind of event that they're going to, you want to make sure that you have that on your list of things to do. So if you need to buy a dress or you need to get your hair done, you're on it. The next is a cleaning list, okay? All the things you need to clean. Sometimes, like, I'll be sitting somewhere and I'm like, oh, I really need to wipe those baseboards, right? But like, you don't have the time right then because it's gonna take more than 2 minutes. So writing that down. Or, oh, I need to like wash these, I don't know, something that you don't wash, my curtains, right? Adding that to a list, that's very important. The next list is books to read or movies to watch. So I personally don't watch a lot of movies or TV, but if I do want to watch something, I make sure that I add it to the list, and then I make sure that I allocate time to it, making sure that I really have the time dedicated to it so I don't feel guilty wasting my time like watching TV. Also films, like if you really want to go out and watch a movie, make sure that you add that to your list so that you can be productive, manage your time properly. Okay, next up is birthdays and anniversaries. Obviously you want to keep a running list on that, add those to your phone. And then there's like areas to declutter, right? So my desk, like I have a little place here with a bunch of stuff and it needs to be decluttered. But like if I put it on a list, then I won't get distracted by it. Like when I'm working, I can say, okay, now I'm going to allocate time to declutter. My closet was a totally different area to declutter. I have a video on a life audit, and in the life audit it said I had to get rid of a bunch of stuff. A lot of it was in the storage closet, so that's really important. Then of course there's the usernames and password list. Use something like LastPass. Please do not write down your passwords, okay? Make sure that you have good cybersecurity hygiene. There's no paper and pen here. Well, there could be, but you know, it depends. It depends. If you like live by yourself in like some remote area and nobody's ever gonna see your written down passwords, then it's probably fine. But a password manager is typically useful. Next up is the restaurants to try. So like sometimes there'll be a really cool type of cuisine, or you'll hear about a restaurant and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to try that. Make sure you write that down. So when you do have money to spend on going out, you know exactly where you're going to be spending your money. And then the last list is a professional accomplishments list. This is super important if you're like working in the corporate world. You want to make sure that you always have written down exactly what you've accomplished, exactly what you've done, and the metrics behind that. So when you do go ahead and look for a new job, you have your receipts in hand. Okay, so those are all the lists that I think that you should be keeping to improve your productivity. If you have any more, or you think that I missed any, leave them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.